This man wants and desires variety. Desires variety. I know you said, oh, women desire variety and all that stuff too. Men and women are not the same. Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it. Assalamu alaikum, peace. I'm Coach Nazir, one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as one of the authors of Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. Now, I'm putting together a series that's going to be answering the most common question that I get from women, whether they're single, whether they're married or not. And that is, why do men, husbands in particular, desire multiple wives? For men, we don't have to really ask that question. We already know it's something in us. However, I'm just going to let you know and give you a caveat that even after going through this series, you're not going to fully grasp or understand what that is. All right, what the reasons are. You may intellectually have a foundation. You may even be able to articulate it after I share these different things with you. But not saying that to say that you are intellectually defunct. But what I am saying is, just like I would never be able to fully grasp and understand what it's like to have a menstrual cycle, to give birth, or even have the desire to give birth, especially if you've already given birth to children. Okay, I can intellectually say some different reasons, but as a man, never be able to grasp it fully. So with that being said, why do men want multiple wives? Well, with the hundreds of men that I've coached and clients and students that have gone through our courses, there's a common thread. And it basically falls into two different categories. So this first category is, listen, now, if you're unmarried or if you are married in monogamy, it's really this first category. The first category, I'm going to say, it has nothing to do with the wife. Nothing to do specifically with whoever you're married to, or if you're not married, it's just already in you anyway. So that's the category that has nothing to do with your current wife. All right. Then the second category there are some things that you may be dissatisfied with or just wanting that are not done by or with your current wife. And those fall into three different categories. So the first is going to be dealing with emotionally unfulfilled. Then there's the physically unfulfilled. And then there is the mentally unfulfilled. All right. So whether or not this man or your husband desires multiple wives, something that's already in us. But that's too simple of an answer, right? So I'm going to share, to begin with you, really the first part, the things that don't have anything to do with you as a wife, if you're a wife, or as a woman, if you're not married yet. Number one, I already shared a video for my reasons of desiring to practice polygyny. And again, for ease of terms, polygamy means a spouse who has multiple spouses. With that definition, clearly being genderless, you'll notice spouse having multiple spouses is the broader term. To be more specific, polygyny means a husband who is married to multiple wives. That means a man has multiple women. Then there's polyandry, which is a woman or a wife who has multiple husbands. All right. So just to clear up the terms. So I practice polygyny. And that's what we discuss, and that's what my wives and I do here on this channel. Now, first reason, it's not only just something inside you as a man, but there's something about your masculinity that wants to be more. You want to be a champion. You want to grow. You want to conquer. You want to expand. You want to be more. You're really legacy-minded and focused. That tends to be the number one reason for many brothers. They're like, listen, life is good. Things are well. My wife is good. We have a great relationship on many different levels. You know, it's not about her. She may think or feel it's about her. So they express their concerns to me. Now, listen closely to what I'm telling you. Because men, myself included, have experienced and do experience from time to time that we don't feel heard. Yeah, that's an emotional thing that's traditionally assigned to women. Yeah, but guess what? Men have emotions too. We express, we emote, we do things differently. But a man showing concern about his wife's feeling of thinking something will be wrong with her or something she's doing and not doing in their relationship, in their marriage, is a sign and show of love and concern and care for her. But there's still something in him that wants to be bigger, be greater. All right, that's the number one thing. Well, not the number one reason, but that is a reason. One is a man saying, listen, I'm done. I've done this. I've accomplished this. I've grown in this area. I'm providing well. I'm doing all of these things. And I have this desire within me for more. Not simply just more intimacy, but more as a man. Being more than twice the man. Whether that is 2 wives or 3 wives or 4 wives, or building 4 households, being able to manage them all, being able to do a great job, being able to be legacy focused. Okay? That's one reason. Has nothing to do with you as a woman. Don't matter how much you do all around the board. Don't matter how good your love languages are and your communication are. That feeling is still inside. That feeling, that desire is still inside. She, again, can be the greatest person that you've ever come across. But that feeling is still there. Right, bruh? And I know, well, what about this and what about that? Listen, I'm going to tell you something. It's hilarious to me because people put these stars and singers, entertainers, and different individuals that seem to have it all when it comes to money and wealth, success and fame, the way that people measure things, right? And power couples and all this type of stuff. Well, it's kind of hard to name a power couple that hasn't had their challenges. And not just challenges, but actually dealing with infidelity. Many times by the men, sometimes by the women as well. So one, for example, led to a few different albums of 444 and Lemonade and all that stuff, was Jay-Z and Beyonce. I mean, she bought this man, I think it was a $20 million jet for one of his birthdays several years ago. So not only is she wealthy and people rate her a 10 when it comes to beauty and so on and so forth, but he cheated on her. Beyonce. So let me ask you a question. If this person is held in such esteem in society when it comes to beauty and wealth and all this stuff and yada, 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 and gets cheated on, yeah, what's going on there? Or was it just something that she just wasn't fulfilling? I don't know necessarily the reasons. We heard different things so far through the media and everything else, but I just want to pull your point to that there's something still within a man who has what society, by all, metrics that society measures by, minus the spiritual, because they don't generally measure by that. They don't think that's real for whatever reason, still got cheated on. Or about, got the Wills and Jadas, right? Sadly, they were even put in songs. I think it was a Alicia Keys song. I forget the song. It was Alicia Keys. But she's talking about, with Will and Jada. Or she talked about Bill and Camille in the song. Okay? So Bill Cosby, the same one, on multiple affairs, right? Whether you're talking about these two families or other political figures, you got your Reverend Jesse Jackson, you got your President Bill Clinton, and I'm just talking about from that area. However, we live in a society that downplays the honor of women. So seeing extra women as wives that will raise them up in honor is a problem. But for men who have the trappings of society, if you will, that still hasn't gotten rid of their desire for women. As you can see just by these notable people who are all wealthy, famous, considered financially successful and so on and so forth. So one is there's a desire to be great on a whole nother level. Not to be great as that one orange guy was talking about, okay? And look at his whole situation. But really to be great, to be more. And to do it in a noble and honorable fashion requires that you honor women. And doing such requires marriage. That same title is wife. And we're going to get into even what Malcolm shares on what he learned about women and so on in his autobiography of Malcolm X. So don't miss that video. But that's one of the first reasons. The next reason is a man wants and desires variety. Desires variety. I know you said, women desire variety and all that stuff too. Men and women are not the same. Man wants variety. I know some brothers that listen, I like women. I like them different complexions, different heights, different backgrounds, different cultures. And if I have the ability to provide for and be with and have children with and whatnot, then, I would like to do that. There's that desire. But it comes again with responsibility and the nobility of marriage. Again, has nothing to do with how beautiful you are. There's approximately 7 billion people, more than 7 billion on the planet. We're about half and half. All right, there's a slight, worldwide, there's a slight percentage, like maybe 0.5% more men than women worldwide. However, in the country I'm in, from the United States, there are many more women than men. So there are millions of more women than men. In some states, as much as 4 to 5 to 1, or even like in Georgia or Atlanta, for example, even almost 20 to 1. So the numbers get crazy when you're dealing with different backgrounds. Nevertheless, variety. We like different people. We have different preferences. Just like we know women have different preferences, those can change and whatnot over time, but that's another reason. Go to another one. Wanting more children. Men do not have the same biological clock as women. Now, we already know this. This goes without saying. And if you ask one, hey, do you want to have 10 children? Where I'm at right now, to have 2 children, 3 children, 4 is looked at as a lot in this society. So much so that certain ethnicities aren't reproducing enough to keep themselves around for much longer. So in just a couple decades, for example, white people in the United States, and we know the whole history of the country, will become a minority. Yay. Nevertheless, with that being said, they want more children. You want to have 5, 10, 15 children? Are you limited to having a certain amount of children in your lifetime? How many children can you have per year? Now, how many can a man have? How many women can he impregnate? So our biological clocks are different. If I want to have 10, 15 children, to put a woman through that, every single time a woman has a child, her body gets broken down and a lot of different things happen to her. I mean, the reward and blessings for every single pain during pregnancy is immense. But I know brothers that listen, I want to build a tribe. I want to have 20 children. To have that in a noble fashion, to have that where these children are not bastards. Yes, that's the technical term, bastard, meaning that the child is born out of wedlock. To have it nobly requires marriage. That's polygyny. To be responsible for your pleasures has nothing to do with who he's currently married to. You want to have 20 children and not be married at all. But does a woman want to go through 20 childbirths? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. But is that something that a woman even desire these days? Not just is it easy or feasible, but you hit a certain age, geriatric pregnancy, high risk. Just saying. Then, of course, there's the understanding that men need to feel, or men want to feel needed, where women need to feel wanted. I'm going to be sharing with you, with this series, the emotional complexities of men and why they desire to be married to more than one woman. The things I just mentioned are pretty much the common areas that have nothing to do with the woman that they're married to, whether they are gorgeous, they're great cooks, they do all the things that they like to do intimately and so on and so forth, and connect with them mentally and everything else. Those reasons I just shared with you are absolutely still in play, no matter how good of a wife or a woman you are. It is not your fault that a man desires more. But these are some common reasons, and I can vouch for them. All right, one of those is my reason. I want to become more. So if you want to see that video, no problem. Go ahead, feel free. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel to get the updates, or better yet, get on our email list at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com to stay connected with what we have going on and look for this series. Any questions, comments below? Make sure you do that. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask you to put underneath this video, not my fault. If you're a woman, put not my fault, meaning that it's not your fault. Your husband may want to marry someone else. If you're a man and any of these resonated with you, or if these are your reasons, put which one down. What is it? Is it that you desire to become more? Is it that you want more children? Is that you want more variety? What is it? Let us know in the comments below. Any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. With that being said, I'm Coach Nazir. I help people get their shift together. So I look forward to seeing you getting your shift together and making it happen. Remember, be outstanding. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.